Forbes, in its most recent NFL valuations, put the Denver Broncos as the 10th most valuable franchise at $375. So just for context, Forbes identified the Denver Broncos in 2021 as valued at $3.75 billion. They sold for $465, meaning that maybe Forbes isn't right on the nose, but that the Broncos and the Bolin family selling got an extra billion tacked on the top of their valuation, of their most recent valuation. They got an extra bill, basically, $900 million. $900 million extra dollars on top of their most recent valuation. Why? Because owning a professional sports team in America is the single greatest investment there is. Forget Bitcoin and crypto. Forget Apple or Amazon stock. There is nothing like owning a professional sports team. Our thirst, our hunger as a American consumer base is unrelenting. We never stop watching sports. And we don't only watch one or two sports, we watch them all. And they all do really well. Does hockey do as well as the NFL? No. Does MLS do as well as the NBA? No. But they're doing fine. The NHL owners are getting rich. MLS owners are getting rich. We're watching football and two kinds, the NFL and college. We're watching baseball. We're watching basketball, the NBA, and college. We're watching hockey. We're watching soccer, domestic and international. There is no country like us in terms of sports. And I never forget that I happened to be born into a country where sports was everything. Youth sports, professional sports, collegiate sports. You know, other places, they love soccer, absolutely love soccer, but they don't have the type of customer base that we do, where we are madly in love with like 6 different sports and like 10 different sports can be profitable, and collegiate sports are through the roof, and like we just can't stop ingesting sports. So that's what this bet is by the Broncos' new ownership. Yeah, we might be worth $375, but I'll pay $465 knowing that by the time I sell, if I sell, it's worth way more than that. You can already bet an extra $1 billion on top of the buying price of any NFL franchise, which is insane. Here is what Forbes' most valuable franchises look like. The Cowboys at 1 at $6.5 billion. We asked this question yesterday. Mraz, if the Broncos got an extra $1 billion tacked on to what Forbes' valuation was, if Forbes is correct, if the Cowboys are worth 6.5, if Jerry sold today, what would he get?
I think he would get $10 billion because of everything, the star, the stadium, all that stuff. I think they would be the most valuable at $10 billion.
I think you're right. I think you would put the number at 10. And that's not Jerry going, you give me I don't want to sell, but blow me away with a price. You know, that price might be higher than $10 billion. If he said today, I'm selling the Cowboys, and he just had a series of bidders, I think the bidding gets up to $10 billion. One NFL team that does not control its own TV rights, the rights are all shared to the NFL, would potentially get $10 billion. The Patriots are 2, valued at $5 billion. The Giants are 3, just under that at $4.85. The Rams are 4 at $4.8. Washington is 5 at 4.2. The Niners are at 6 at 4.17. Bears at number 7 at 4.0. Jets at number 8 at $4 billion as well. And I bring this up because the Jets have been poorly run for how many years? 20 years? 30 years? Go back to Leon Hess days of the 80s. You could argue the Jets are one of the most mismanaged franchises in the NFL for 30 years. The Johnsons could sell tomorrow and get easily $5 billion. Washington is the worst managed football team in the NFL and perhaps the worst managed organization. They could sell today after 22 years of Dan Snyder, and he could make $5 billion. $5 billion. What's amazing is that the success isn't necessarily tied to your valuation. It's your market size. The Houston Texans are 11. They're worth 3.75. I mean, Cal McNair's a complete bozo. They call him Tommy Boy. He sits on the floor, cross-legged of his office, and plays video games. He could sell today and make about $4.5 billion. He didn't do anything. He didn't even build the team, didn't even buy the team. He just got it handed to him from daddy. I wonder if this reality does cause Dan Snyder or the Johnsons or Cal McNair to be like, yeah, you know what? I cash out for $5 billion or $6 billion? Okay. I mean, I just think, yeah, these guys are all rich. They have their bills paid for anyway, so they don't need liquid cash. But man, Mraz, if you're talking about numbers in $4, $5, or $6 billion, I do wonder if it changes how long you want to hold on to an NFL team. Like, it's really cool. You're one of only a handful of people that can do it. And it'll always go up. But you know what? Not having to be punished by the media or the fans because your team loses again and you cash out at $5 billion, that sounds like a pretty good win for me.
Yeah, the more I think about it, though, do you care if you're getting punished by the media and everything? Because if you have that,
Maybe not.
If your team's worth that much money and you're going to be willing to sell that much money, and that's like the thing you do, maybe not out of boredom, right? I know the Johnsons own other things and there's other investments and whatnot, but you, in theory, already can travel and leave and go wherever you want. I mean, if you want to leave for a month during the football season, you can to go to wherever you want to go and travel. So it's almost like a lot of these people, you brought up Cal McNair, they own the team simply out of just boredom. It's something to do. It's something to have your name on because no matter what, you're going to sell and do what? Spend more time doing the same thing you're doing while owning the team?
Maybe. It's something to do, but it also is you're cool. You're part of the coolest club in the world. You're one of only 32 people, really 31 because the Packers are owned by stockholders. You're one of 31 cool kids. And that's it. And there's only that group. And so that's what these guys hold on to. But damn, you cash out at $5 billion? Like, I don't know. It sounds pretty good.
Insane. And it's insane to think you could have a number of suitors that could line up at $10 billion about the Cowboys. Like, that to me blows my mind.
The Bills, for what it's worth, the least valuable franchise, again, because of the stadium situation and because of the small market size, a mere $2.27 billion. Which, I mean, come on. The least valuable.